Good evening. My name is Anatoly Motkin, as it was mentioned. And thank you for coming and welcome to the StrategEast 5th State and IT Eurasian Forum that has been held here in Almaty. It's our 5th edition of the forum. The first one was held in Kiev in 2019. The next one was challenging. It was just amid the pandemic in Tbilisi in 2020. And it was still held, but in hybrid format, as you could imagine. The third one was held in Bishkek. The fourth one last year was held in old city of Samarkand. And today we're happy to have this event here in Almaty, actually the main IT city of Kazakhstan and one of the leading IT cities in Eurasian region. We truly believe that the young population of Central Asia, with its 70 million population, could become and could make this region as one of the global centers of digital excellence. We also truly believe that the entire region will benefit from transformation, not only social transformation, but also economic transformation from the traditional natural resource-based and heavy industry-based to a knowledge-driven economy. We work with international financial institutions to implement our initiatives here with global development agencies, and in particular with Future Growth Initiative-based USAID that supports, and I think the biggest supporter of digital initiatives in the region. We work also with the global tech companies, both the vendors like AWS, Google, Microsoft, and others, and also with the engineering companies. And these are the companies who actually create real jobs. And to create real jobs for us is to prevent the brain drain and also to bring in more expertise and to develop local human capital. We also work with the governments of the region, and they're our key partner along with the universities who assist us to implement our initiatives, but also to bring in institutional change, and not only project by project. We have a unique case in a different but nearby region in Caucasus, a Republic of Georgia, where we succeeded literally in 3 years working with the government of Georgia, with international financial institutions, global development agencies, leading tech companies, to set up from scratch the entire IT expert-oriented sector. Just imagine that 3 years ago, there was not a single international IT company exporting software from Georgia. And the pipeline of startups, it was not poor, it was almost non-existent. And then we started working systematically on how we could set up all the components of the IT ecosystem in the country. So first, we attracted EPAM Systems, one of the leading, if not the leading, engineering company active in this region, to train just 40 students. We covered the tuition fee with one precondition. They should hire them in Georgia without relocation. Then we started working with the government on developing special tax and legislative regime for IT expert-oriented companies, decreasing the income tax from 20% to 5% for the employees to make Georgia competitive with the neighboring countries like Ukraine, like Belarus, and many others. And then we also started working with our allies in the startup ecosystem, including the US MEC who are present here, whom we call mission-driven accelerator, because actually their mission is to bring in more knowledge and also to develop or to provide access to local talent to international markets and investments. And also we set up other components like IT Association in Georgia and many others. To make the long story short, just in 3 years, we have over 100 international IT companies working from Georgia. We have the IT experts from the country were increased from 0 to over $350 million this year. The first Georgian startup, and the mentor of this startup is here among us in this audience, they took the first place in Web Summit in Lisbon last year. And it just demonstrates the international recognition of those achievements. Another one was acquired for $50 million. And as I used to say, okay, it's not a unicorn, but it's still impressive for a small country like Georgia. And more than this, The first R&D office of global product company Viber Messenger, you know it. They opened their R&D office a year ago in Georgia that demonstrates the maturity of the market that just 3 years ago emerged from nothing. So I believe that working systematically in each one of those countries with your support will deliver tangible results in quite a short period of time. Now, the title of this forum is Knowledge as a New Energy. And the knowledge is based on 5 educational pillars. We educate people, we educate companies, we educate money, how the old money becomes smart money. We also educate governments. We work with the governments to assist to adjust the local legislation in accordance with the global best and regional best practices. And also we educate markets. And the idea of educating markets is actually to explain people in the United States, in Europe, and recently also in the Gulf, that the Central Asia as a region is a center of the digital expertise at the highest global level. And it would be win-win for those markets to start getting the digital services from Central Asia. But also that Central Asia is a great opportunity for their investments. They don't do favor to anybody. They multiply their investments many times. So just to demonstrate how it works, I would bring several examples. First, we always start from expertise, we always start from analysis. So last year, just half a year ago, we've released our report that was supported by USAID and EBRD in Central Asia. It's called Billion in the Distance. How we could scale up IT experts from the region of Central Asia to billions of dollars for each country. And it's quite realistic. But the importance of the report is not only that the report generated policy recommendations that work for international financial institutions, development agencies, and the governments, but also it became a useful tool for strategists to promote Central Asia as desired IT destination in outer markets. This report was presented not only for the IFIs and the development agencies in all the capitals, and it was made by our regional director, Ravshan Ragimov, who is here with us. But also we presented this report in Atlantic Council in the States, in Chatham House in the UK, in CEPS in Brussels, in DIGUP in Germany. And also in Australia, just a month ago, we presented this report remotely. So these papers have huge importance of not only delivering the idea to the decision makers, but also delivering the perception of the market to new destinations for the market itself. About working with big international companies. Google, and we have Olga Skorohodova here, who actually is regional director of Google for Central Asia and Caucasus. We've launched together our training of 1,500 students that Google holds for free in Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, 750 students in each. We work with local universities, and I always say, when I've been asked who are your main partners in all these countries, I always answer the universities. They are the key to the talent. They are actually our biggest supporters. They are those who assist us by working together to maximize the result. In Kyrgyzstan, we're talking about donors, about IFIs. Many times it happens that the donors sometimes duplicate each other's activity, or sometimes they need anybody else, somebody who will actually match their investment into some projects. We've launched a year ago a Donors Coordination Committee for IT development in Kyrgyzstan in Bishkek. At the first stage it was launched with UNDP, now we hold it with Kyrgyzstan a Software Developers Association, and the result is that the next quarterly meeting we will deliver project or declare about project that will be co-funded by a number of donors and not just one. And it will be a pilot that we're always sure that when we deliver proof of concept, the concept starts working in all other neighboring countries, and we hope and we've been asked explicitly in Uzbekistan and other places to replicate this model of Donors Coordination Committee for IT development. Now we're launching the forum, but on the sidelines of forum, we have several side events. One of them was just held 3 hours ago, and the event was initiated by Big Global and KYC, our partners from Kazina Capital, for local angel investors with 2 leading mentors from the Silicon Valley and good friends of ours, Asher Siddiq and Marvin Liao, who actually explained what is the importance of angel investments, how it works, and also on their own example, they explained what are the mistakes that should not be replicated. And this is an example of what I called to educate the money, how the old money becomes smart money. There is no future to IT or knowledge-driven economy in any given country if the local capital is not being invested into local human capital. That's why we're struggling to convince, to explain, to attract local investors, local capital, to be invested into local startups pipeline development. Also, we keep with acceleration programs and accelerating local startups in Central Asia. The second side event to be held tomorrow, and it's been supported and initiated by our partners from EBRD here in Kazakhstan. It will be a pitch event for the most prominent, at least in our network, mentors from the Silicon Valley. And we will choose the participant for the next
И мы выберем участника для следующего веб-саммит питчинг-ивента. И здесь мы привносим вместе глобальную экспертизу для того, чтобы не только видеть и привлечь местных акселераторов, но важно
experience, global practice, and not only from Silicon Valley. Again, I believe that the next year in this region should be devoted to developing digital or building a digital bridge, as we call to the main digital event in Kazakhstan, between the Central Asia, Caucasus, and the Gulf states. And people in the Gulf states, they understand that actually for them it's a win-win. They get Silicon Valley level of delivery from those global companies in Central Asia, but 10 times cheaper than they would get it from Silicon Valley, and 10 times better than they get it from their current digital solutions providers. So if we're talking about the Gulf states, again, the same name, knowledge is a new energy. The common denominator between the Gulf states and Central Asia is that they started working on diversifying the economic model and transforming the energy-based or natural resource-based model to a knowledge-driven one. I'll always quote the former Minister of Oil of Saudi Arabia, who said that the Stone Age ended not because we were out of stones, the same with oil. So it's great to see that actually the governments of these both regions working hard to develop the local human capital, and I think that Central Asia could contribute a lot to the knowledge development in countries like Saudi Arabia, like Emirates, like Qatar, and the smaller countries of Bahrain, Oman, and Kuwait. So I thank you for coming here, and tomorrow we'll see even more people. We have over 70 speakers, and we have an audience that will come here. And I will not actually spoil, will say what will be our keynote speech today about. But I wish you another today and tomorrow exciting days, and I believe that they will enrich you with new knowledge, new experience, new network. For us, it's also important that those forums will be productive ones. So we take care not only about the side events, but also the side meetings that happen here. They're not public, but they will inevitably deliver tangible results in a short period of time. And here is the right place to thank all our partners and allies. First, USAID Future Growth Initiative, who are our huge contributor, and also we're in the same mind in developing the digital initiatives and educational initiatives in Central Asia. I would like to thank the European Bank of Reconstruction and Development, who is our huge global contributor, and we work a lot in Caucasus, for example, together with EBRD these days. We're working to develop digital or IT capacity in the regional centers. And it's important for us as a digital economy is the best opportunity actually to fight against digital divide. How we could provide equal opportunities for people in big cities, in rural areas. And we do this project we implemented in Georgia and Azerbaijan. We're being promised that next year we'll scale it up to Central Asia. Special thanks also to Astana Hub, who support us in all our activities in Kazakhstan, and all IT parks of the region, like IT park in Uzbekistan, in Kyrgyzstan, in Tajikistan, in Georgia, JITA, Forsim agency in Azerbaijan. And also, thank you to the City Hall Akimat of Almaty. Thank you to Ernst & Young, MasterCard, Google, AWS, EPAM, and other major tech companies who support our activities and who actually assist us to create more jobs, who assist us to develop the local pipeline of startups. I envision that the next year will bring extensive development in Eurasia's digital economy. We came to Kazakhstan to say that we are going to develop the digital economy to deliver real change to the region, to bring about more gender equality, to create more equal opportunities for rural areas and the regional centers, as I've just mentioned. And before all, to make the entire region global center of digital excellence. Thank you so much for coming.
For starting our forum of digital development, innovation in aerospace industry of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Mr. Kanysh. Tuleushin, with your applause, please.
Hello, Salamastanma, Kurmetli dostlar. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm really happy to be with you here. Thank you for joining us and coming. To be honest, I get impressed all the time how much energy Anatoly has. He's all over the place. He's everywhere, like with one leg in Georgia and another is in Tashkent. So he's helping a lot. And thanks to the people like Anatoly, we have this strong relationship with each other and helping each other. So thank you once again, and additional applause to Anatoly, please. So today, I will share a few slides on where Kazakhstan is right now in terms of digitalization, innovation development, ICT ecosystem development. And I would also talk about what can be actually potentially done jointly together with you so that we can think about it and get back to each other with some good and efficient proposals. So you may know probably about our results in terms of digital infrastructure development. So thanks to the work that ministry and all the state agencies are doing in Kazakhstan, United Nations ranked Kazakhstan as the 28th country in terms of eGov, 8th country in terms of online services. We are the first among CIS, and 65th in terms of telecommunication infrastructure. So, but nevertheless, we see our benchmarks. We have a room to improve so that we do not stop here. We always think how to innovate, how to improve the current situation to be better. And just some cases to share with you. So basically right now we have gone through different evolution layers of eGov development. So we started with building the data infrastructure. Then we moved to services centers and eGov system. Then we moved to the next layer of building a mobile version of eGov. Next layer was about data lakes and big data that we are building within the government. And this is why it helps us to reach to this point and have these products. So right now we have most of our public services available on smartphones, more than 1,000 services. And we have 24 digital documents that are available online on smartphones. You do not need to present official, the physical one document in airport or in hotels, in state agencies. They're officially recognized on the smartphone. You can show your digital ID, you can show your birth certificate, you can show driving license, all of these documents. And it's not only about you, but also about your family members, so they're all available. If we used to have this flash card with a special key that allowed you to get and submit any documents and get the formal documents, right now you just need your biometrical IDs through the smartphone, and here on this mobile version you can get all types of support, including getting the data, getting the official documents, getting the e-notary services. And so the digital notary is the last development that we have done. So if it is 11 p.m. Saturday night, you do not need to go and seek for any notary, so you can do it online. The notary service provider, he will join you through the video call and he will notarize the document with you. It's very convenient. And we could manage to build a relationship with big fintech companies in Kazakhstan, banks, and we provided access to our databases. And that's why we have all the services that eGov provides for Kazakh citizens. They're also available on the fintech platforms online. Some cases for you just to understand the depths of the technology. So right now you can buy and sell a car in 5 minutes. You can finalize a mortgage deal in 24 hours through the smartphone. So in Kazakhstan, Kazakhstani citizens do not hold cash anymore. So it's one of the leading cashless economy with more than 80% transactions going online. So this allowed, so we started with the digital infrastructure, but then that was a big enabler of building the IT ecosystem itself, which consists of 4 main elements, and Anatoly mentioned about them. So I think we follow the same pathway that Georgia did. We started with human capital, and we are partnering with the big companies like EPAM, Samsung, Huawei, Google. We are launching joint education programs for training IT developers. Apart from the traditional universities that can give you IT educational for 4 or 5 years, you can also use our voucher system, which is called Tech Orda program. We provide around 3,000 vouchers per year for people from 18 years old up to 45 years old to get coding skills in any language. And this allowed people even from finance background or accounting background to switch to the coding skills background. And if they used to get like $1,000 per month as a salary, now they can get like $2,000 or $3,000. So it's a big social shift upwards. Yeah, so basically that's our main direction. So and we also talked through the within the meetings that we had previously, that this is still our key direction, and we need to develop also entrepreneurial skills apart from hard skills, soft skills as well, so that our IT developers could be well equipped with a different set of knowledge to be well prepared to enter the world. Either they would get employed or they will launch their own startups. So if they decide to launch their own startups, they can move to the next element, which is innovation infrastructure, which is more about acceleration, incubation, programs. And one of them is actually Astana Hub. And Astana Hub right now is the main hub in Central Asia with 1,300 residents. And we have Almaty Hub in this city with about maybe 250 residents. So this allowed us actually to grow the IT export from $33 million in 2020 by 10 times up to $333 million last year. And we had this task to get 5 million in 2025, but hopefully we will get this number up to the end of this year. So, but never, our president gave a new challenging task to reach 1 billion in 2026. So another story to share with you is the Silk Road Innovation Hub. So we are not positioning our hubs as just Kazakhstani hubs and the places for Kazakhstani startups. It's open hubs for any company, any startup from Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, even Turkey. They can come, they can get any type of support. And we launched this program and opened together with our partner in Silicon Valley in Kazakhstan. We launched a Silk Road Innovation Hub in US, in Silicon Valley. And it's a new home for startups from this Eurasian region. And all costs, accommodation costs, all different type of costs will be covered by us. And not only by Kazakhstan, because Uzbekistan and other countries already joined this initiative so that we can jointly do it. Because, you know, there are different examples. One of them is Nomadic Innovation Hub in Silicon Valley. It's not just one Finland that is doing, doing it together with Sweden and other countries. So this is a good benchmark and story for us. So we are doing the same. We already sent the first batch of 15 IT companies to US for 6 months. They are trying their luck to raise the capital and expand their business abroad. We have some good examples like Clockstar in Indonesia. We have Parkour in UAE. We have Pinemelon in US. All these startups are growing and expanding their business globally. So our plan is to open another innovation hub in Indonesia and Singapore, in Southeast Asia, and another hub will be located in Middle East, so that we can help our startups to grow and grow globally. So this is about Astana Hub. And here we are showing different types of programs that we collaborate with universities. I think it's worth to mention about private hubs as well, not only quasi-state and state. One of them is MOST, and they are doing pretty well here in Almaty as well. So they have their own venture capital fund. They have this small ecosystem just in Almaty. They have acceleration program, incubation programs, and venture capital funds. Okay, so next one, the third element that we are focusing on is actually financial infrastructure. It is more about venture capital funds, business angels, and going like 5-10 years back, I think we could not find more than 5 VC funds here in Kazakhstan. But thanks to the maturity of ICT community that is growing year by year, we have the rise the growth of the venture capital funds. Yeah. So basically, one of them we opened with the help of World Bank. The rest with the quasi-state agencies, and I think we have already solved the problem of getting the capital less than 1 million for pre-seed and seed stage, but we're still facing the problem of getting more than 1 million for Series A, B, and C, and this is where we are kind of thinking right now to launch a venture capital fund of funds together with our global financial institutions, together with sovereign wealth fund, quasi-state agencies, so that we can finance and fund local GPs with their pipeline and portfolios of different projects and growing them together abroad. And for this, we are developing a special export promotion program for startups so that they can be well prepared. The last element, I think, is it's not here on the slide, but okay, it's here. So we are developing and trying to actually stimulate and motivate mature businesses, big companies to invest in startups. And there are some examples. It's Kaspi, KZ, Freedom Finance. They are fintech unicorns with a total valuation about $24 billion, listed in London Stock Exchange and NASDAQ. And they are also helping us to build this ecosystem and developing this ecosystem. So only, I think, Freedom has invested in a bunch of startups, Kaspi as well, and we have Choco and other companies. So our goal is to actually help them to grow so that that would be a good exit strategy for startups. So they would go either to export or they can sell their products to the mature big companies and try to build a new one. So we have stories like Santa Fe that they sold their technology to Kaspi. It's tickets. We have the story of Krysha KZ, Kolesa KZ. They all sold their technologies to these big companies. So I think having these 4 elements and developing them will help this ecosystem grow further and be more mature. Next slide. Just a little about AI. I also shared during the previous session, we integrated 88 different informational systems of state agencies into one big platform and made a big data that helped us to build several products like family welfare system that can help us to proactively help special families below low income without submitting any documents, just getting this support from the government proactively. There are a fuel monitoring system with the help of IoT. So this big data can help us, I think, to build a strong national AI strategy, and by providing the access correctively, providing the access with anonymized data to the market, and this is a challenge for us as well. We need to think about it. Would give rise to different number of startups working on AI solutions. And last but not least, I think it's also worth to mention about the data centers hub. So we believe strongly that Kazakhstan can be a data centers valley with a low temperature, with a low price of energy, with the right legislative framework, which is very important for the big companies, that needs to be in place. And we are working on it, so we are developing this, we are providing these new adjustments to legislation together with the help of consultants and experts. So that's it from my end, and I'm really inviting you to cooperate with us. Let's do it together. I think we can make this story happen and grow, and I really want to thank you all for joining us and for coming to this event. Thank you so much.
Dear guests, I think it's cool that Mr. Kanysh Tuleushin, Vice Minister, has an investor background. Maybe you didn't know about it. I think this can be felt during his speeches. Thank you very much, Mr. Tuleushin and the Ministry, for the work that you and your colleagues carry out on an ongoing basis every day. Thank you so much, and your applause to you and to the colleagues. Now we want to invite to the stage our next honored guest, EBRD Advice for Small Businesses Program, National Manager in the Republic of Kazakhstan, Alma Kassymova, with your applause, please. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be invited to this forum, and thank you, Anatoly, and StrategEast team, obviously, for this opportunity, as well as for your investing into IT sector development worldwide, as we see, and our region in particular. At the EBRD, we believe into power of networking in development of venture capital ecosystem. And we work in the region of Eurasia, contributing through our Star Venture program in Kazakhstan since last year, and now expanding it to Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyzstan. In Kazakhstan, within our partnership with the Kazakh government, we are supporting 7 high potential startups, mentioned by our deputy minister as well. We provide them advisors and mentors to help expanding into the new markets. Now also offering credits from Amazon Web Service, and our startups will be pitching tomorrow. Each of them is unique and worth highest recognition and visibility. Globally, at the EBRD, we have a venture capital investment program, VCIP, which establishes which enables us to co-invest directly in ambitious companies that use new digital technologies to grow in their local markets. Besides, through another program which is called Early Stage Innovation Facility, the EBRD invests in selected venture capital funds, helping develop the financing market for innovative enterprises. And we hope to bring soon both programs into our region as well. With this, a very warm welcome to everyone, and I wish all of us to have useful and fun time today and tomorrow. EBRD develop and help small and medium-sized businesses for more than 20 years now, all enterprises now entering this new niche, the startups niche for us. So let's work together and help each other to grow. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was really an opening remark. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you from our organizers that we have official hashtag of our event, of our forum. If you will post something to social media, please use it. Guys, can you please show it on the screen? Official hashtag, which is State and IT. I already did it. State and IT. And as AND. Thank you. We want to invite to the stage our next honored guest, USAID Central Asia Deputy Mission Director, Monique Mosolf, with your applause, please. Thank you very much.
energy in this room is quite amazing. I have to say this is the first event I've spoken at where the first speaker is wearing blue jeans, so that's fantastic. And there's rock and roll music as I enter the stage. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. StrategEast President Anatoly, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. On behalf of USAID, I'm really honored to stand before you today and welcome you to the 5th State and IT Eurasian Forum. This event, organized by StrategEast with support from the United States Agency for International Development, supports our shared vision for a flourishing IT ecosystem that contributes to fostering business growth opportunities for the region. At USAID, we firmly believe that private sector-led growth is the best catalyst for job creation and regional competitiveness, something that the Vice Minister alluded to earlier in his remarks. This is where USAID's Future Growth Initiative project comes into play with its platform for enhancing regional cooperation and increasing knowledge and expertise within each country of Central Asia. Through this initiative, we are working to remove barriers, bolster competitiveness, spur economic activity, and create new jobs and income. At USAID, we understand that even in this era of incredible technological advancement, human resources, people, youth, remain invaluable. In this context, in a USAID-supported partnership with Google, we will offer free IT training to 1,500 students from up to 14 universities from Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. People with creativity, resilience, passion are the cornerstone of any successful business venture. So while we champion digitalization and IT sector development, we place equal emphasis on nurturing local talent, a sentiment echoed in the startup culture expanding throughout Central Eurasia. The State and IT Eurasia Forum is more than just an event. It is an embodiment of our shared vision for the region's future. It is a manifestation of our collective effort, government, private sector, think tanks, entrepreneurs, development agencies, and many others, to build an entrepreneurial ecosystem where ideas flourish and transformative innovations take place. As we gather here today, let us strive to foster development of local talent, attract international investment, and empower the next generation of entrepreneurs. In doing so, we not only contribute to the regional economy, but also architect a brighter, more prosperous future for people of this region. Thank you, and let's look forward to an engaging, innovative, and productive forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Dear ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you our last speaker of this first part of our program. Operations Manager for Central Asia, the World Bank, Indu John Abraham, please, with your applause. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Tuleushin, Ms. Kassymova, Ms. Mosolf, Anatoly, and the organizers of this event, Excellencies, distinguished speakers, participants, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be with you here with you this evening to jointly open this important event where we gather to explore common IT sector challenges and opportunities, new partnerships, new ways to coordinate our joint efforts, and knowledge sharing for regional development. As we convene this evening, we find ourselves confronting an intricate nexus of challenges brought about by profound global forces, and rapid transformations. Our commitment is to ensure no nation and no child among them is left behind in this transformational journey. Recognizing this, the World Bank has embarked on a new vision of creating a world free of poverty on a livable planet. This renewed mission recognizes digital transformation as critical to reducing poverty and inequality and addressing global challenges such as climate change. Being able to learn, work, transact digitally and online has never been more important to the daily lives of people around the world. Even though basic digital access is a foundation for addressing many of the world's most pressing challenges, 1/3 of the world, or 2.6 billion people, remain offline. While mobile broadband networks cover 95% of the world, 38% of those with access choose not to use it, primarily due to challenges related to affordability and digital literacy. Despite massive data growth, less than 1% is analyzed and utilized, primarily because 90% of it remains unstructured. Cloud technology is crucial for processing such data, especially in Central Asia, but the region's fledgling cloud market widens the digital gap. Moreover, automation and globalization are driving a shift, requiring reskilling the workforce. Recent studies indicate that by 2027, just 4 years from now, 60% of workers will require reskilling and retraining to adapt to the evolving job market. Yet currently only half have access to sufficient training. This is critical in Central Asia, where over 50% of the population is under 30 years of age. And the jobs of our children will not be the same as ours, requiring a new form of formation in order to open opportunities and improve their quality of life. Recognizing the pressing need to accelerate progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals, our institution will be focusing on 8 global challenges, such as climate change adaptation and mitigation, pandemic prevention and preparedness, and enabling digitalization. As the World Bank President Ajay Banga recently said, digital is transforming our world and will make everything else possible. So it has naturally become a priority area of our global engagement, to make sure the digital divide is not a source of greater inequality, but rather that digital access becomes a springboard for greater opportunities. To help countries address the global challenge of enabling digitalization, the World Bank will offer just-in-time advice, partnership establishment, and private investor engagement. In doing so, we aim to empower countries to efficiently accelerate digitalization and promote fast-tracking affordable broadband for all, scaling up inclusive and safe digital public infrastructure, and building digital skills for jobs. We have started to implement this focus in Central Asia in our new engagements. The Uzbekistan Digital Inclusion Project that will soon be considered by the World Bank Board seeks to fundamentally change the landscape of the IT-enabled services industry by simultaneously targeting the creation of human capital, strengthening the enabling business environment and physical infrastructure, while creating access to markets. The Digital Acceleration for an Inclusive Economy project under preparation here in Kazakhstan will support equitable access to high quality and climate resilient broadband infrastructure in selected unserved and underserved areas of Kazakhstan. Digital connectivity is pivotal to achieving broader development goals. Yet in a region with relatively low digital development, bridging the digital divide proves even more critical. Broadband household penetration ranges between 7.1% in Tajikistan to 37.4% in Kazakhstan, as compared to about 60% in Armenia and over 60% in Russia. Across Central Asia, where close to half of the population still lives in rural areas, it's imperative to make sure those communities are not left behind when it comes to fast and reliable internet. To this end, the aim is to minimize digital fragmentation, establish modernized payment systems, and develop robust cybersecurity protocols. Collaborative efforts in this direction are seen as the paths toward a more inclusive and prosperous digital future, underscoring the unwavering commitment to leave no one behind in the digital era. We look forward in the World Bank to continuing the collaboration with many of you here today. Convinced and committed to the impact of digital development to reducing poverty and promoting shared prosperity. I wish you all highly productive sessions and engaging discussions. Thank you very much.